Peter Baker, we keep getting evidence that this virus is indiscriminate, doesn't care who you are. And what we've seen now is that it has changed the power dynamic of a major nation. The UK's prime minister is now in the ICU. That means he cannot run the country while he's there. Dominic Raab is now in charge. He didn't take it very seriously for many weeks leading up to this point. It was only he got a late start. He's been criticized for it. The president also didn't take this threat of this virus seriously until way late in the game. And now there's been a ton of reporting about all of the warnings that were given to this administration and given to the president that were not heeded. Tell me more about what we're learning about the time wasted up until the virus had already spread.
Yeah, it's a great question. Of course, Boris Johnson isn't even the only foreign leader currently to be, affected by this. Others have been quarantined, including Angela Merkel of Germany, Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel, Justin Trudeau of Canada. And I think to have the president's friend, the one foreign leader he considers to be a friend, Boris Johnson, suddenly now in the ICU, a much more serious turn of events, has to be a wake-up call for him. But you're right, it took weeks, I think, certainly for the president to begin acting more aggressively about this. It's been well chronicled, his statements dismissing the seriousness of it, comparing it to the ordinary flu, saying it would miraculously go away. At the same time, precious days and weeks went by in terms of the testing, not getting the test kits out to people at the rate that the president himself said that they would be out. I was with him at the CDC on March the 6th when he said anybody who wants a test can get a test. I'm not sure that's even true today, a month later. And obviously, in terms of medical equipment, PPE, masks, ventilators, all of that has been ramped up quite a lot in the last few days, but it's been the last few days as opposed to February or earlier when it might have been, available to these hospitals right now when they need it the most.
Hello, YouTubers. If you're watching this, it means you've checked out our channel, so thank you. Now do me a favor, subscribe by clicking on that button down there. Click on any of the videos to watch the latest interviews and highlights from MTP Daily and MSNBC. You can get more Meet the Press content every morning in the First Read newsletter. If you're tired of content that you don't know anything about where it came from, you don't have to have that problem with us. NBC News, MSNBC, MTP, and the Meet the Press mindset right here for you on YouTube. Subscribe now.